Hey everyone, welcome back. We're in the middle of production on my latest feature, a military horror movie called Contamination, and it got me thinking about my influences in this genre in general and for this new film in specific. Now, I wanted to only focus on films that had both military and horror elements rather than just one or the other, so keep that in mind as you come up with your own list to compare. That said, here are my top 5 military horror movie influences. As always, grab your popcorn. Let's get started. Let's start with number 5 and work our way up. In 5th place is Day of the Dead, the 1985 George Romero classic about a group of civilians and soldiers trapped inside a missile silo, while the outside world succumbs to a zombie plague. Not just another copy of Night of the Living Dead or even Dawn of the Dead for that matter, which are both arguably superior zombie movies. Day of the Dead manages to stand out through its military themes and unforgettable characters. I mean, who can forget Bub, the first truly likable zombie ever put to screen? Or even the villainous Captain Rhodes, or the crazy awesome way he buys it in the end. Which brings us nicely to my number 4 pick, Dog Soldiers, a 2002 action horror directed by Neil Marshall about a group of British soldiers on a training mission in the Scottish Highlands, who are beset upon by a pack of werewolves and forced to make a last stand in a tiny house in the middle of nowhere. With a cast that includes Sean Pertwee, Liam Cunningham, and Kevin McKidd, this film stands out for its great characters, including one of my personal favorite movie soldiers, Spoonie, fun dialogue, a brisk pace, and impressive practical creature effects, especially considering its tiny budget. A lot of people have never seen this one, so make sure you check it out. At 3 we have The Crazies, and though it might be blasphemy to the Romero fans out there, it's actually the 2010 remake that stands out to me more. With a higher budget, a tight script, and some great performances from the likes of Timothy Olyphant and Radha Mitchell among others, it tells the story of a small Iowa town that gets infected with a biological agent that turns the population into psychotic killers. As the town's sheriff, played by Olyphant, tries to first unravel what's happening and then escape the town altogether with his family after the military seals it up, it's a pretty tense and very entertaining ride from start to finish. My number 2 spot could just as easily be my number 1, and it's easy to see why. James Cameron's 1986 classic, Aliens, is a masterclass on action, horror, memorable characters and dialogue, and on how to make a sequel that actually surpasses the original in many ways. And let's face it, Cameron is one of the few directors who can brag about doing such a thing twice. Set 57 years after the events of the first film, Aliens finds Sigourney Weaver's Ripley rescued and then returned to the planet where the terror first started. Only this time she's accompanied by a crew of kick-ass colonial marines, who are as distinct and unforgettable as she is. With career-defining performances by Bill Paxton, Michael Biehn, and Lance Henriksen, among others, as well as more xenomorphs than you can count, not to mention a serious upgrade in the form of the Alien Queen, it's a must-see for any military horror fans. Which leaves us with my number 1 military horror movie, and let's face it, if it's not Aliens, it can only be one other. Of course, I'm talking about 1987's Predator, starring the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger, about a special ops team sent into the Guatemalan jungle on a rescue mission, only to be hunted by an extraterrestrial hunter we now know and love as the Predator. With a rock-solid script, utterly quotable dialogue, action galore, a unique and super cool monster, and an ensemble cast that includes the likes of Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers, and even a young Shane Black, who played double duty as a script doctor on set, this John McTiernan classic set the bar for all military horror movies going forward. And in my opinion, no other movie in the genre has come even close yet. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 military horror influences while writing and filming my latest feature, Contamination. I want to bring that sense of military camaraderie and bravado most of these films touch on, as well as the interpersonal dynamics and naturalistic dialogue that goes with it. And of course, I want all the kick-ass action and that heightened sense of terror when my cast of soldiers meets the unknown, and it ends up being more terrifying than any enemy they've faced yet. So stay tuned if that sounds like something you'd want to watch. But those are just my 2 cents. Give me yours. Do you agree with my list, or are there any military horror movies you think I left out? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest content. Until next time, stay creative.